Catholic Bishops Conference. Your Grace, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. By God's grace, I'm doing very well.
Great. Now, this pull and push in Parliament, how do we wrap our heads around it and get a resolution? What does His Grace say?
Thank you very much. We are very concerned, and I believe the Ghanaian population is also very, very concerned. Perhaps as a priest, let me start with a statement in the Bible where the mother of the sons of Zebedee went to Jesus and said, "Let one of my sons sit on your right and the other on the left." And Jesus said, "Whoever wants to be great must be the least and serve all." And we have elected these people to go and represent us and to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Not to look for who is great or who is minor, who is majority and who is minority. They are sent there to serve the people of Ghana. And now we see them juggling who is great, who is greater, who is minority, who is majority. And the purpose for which we send them there has been pushed aside. So we are beginning to get very disenchanted and very disappointed in Ghana politics. And now they put aside business of government, business of serving the nation. And Parliament has been suspended indefinitely. And why are they there then? Why did we elect them? They have refused to serve us. They have refused to serve the nation. They have stopped serving the nation. And it's something that has been going on in the minds of some of us. What is our parliament? What is the government there? I mean, by government here, I'm talking of parliament.
Right.
Why are they there? For who is greater or who is minor? Who has power? Who has authority to do what? Does it really matter who is minority and who is majority when it comes to serving the people who have been who have sent you there to serve them?
Right.
It's questions we are really asking.
Your Grace, so I know that there are Christians in Parliament. There are Bible-believing persons in Parliament. In fact, Parliament opens every day with a prayer and speaks directly to the things that you have spoken about now. But after the prayer, you see the direct opposite being done. Is God not there anymore?
Well, God is there. The issue is whether people recognize Him as being there. He is there. They ask for His presence. Certainly, He does not leave us. But do they mean it? Do they really want Him to be there? Are they willing to serve as God wants them to serve, as He has chosen them? He chose all the kings to serve people. And certainly we have bad kings. We also have had bad prophets. And we were not expecting our parliamentarians to be bad kings, bad leaders, and bad prophets as they are exhibiting now. It's a real disgrace and a big disappointment to many of us.
Now, the Speaker of Parliament says, I have adjourned Parliament sine die indefinitely. Between now and when hopefully Parliament resumes, what should be the conversations in the back room?
I believe now they should all see that they have betrayed the nation. And now they should recoil back as individually and as groups and as parliament to see how they have disappointed and have refused to serve the nation as we all expected them to do. And therefore they should come back with new resolutions and place themselves in the proper position to serve the nation rather than their personal interest and their desire for authority and for power. So that they do what? They need these things to serve the people, and that is not what they are doing. They should have placed the interest of the people first, and that is what they have failed to do. So they should come back to Parliament, and a Parliament that is devoid over who is minority, who is majority. They are all supposed to come together and put the nation first. It doesn't matter who is minority and who is majority. When you think that whatever position you have to serve the people. And that is what they have failed and refused to do.
Right.
So they should come back, placing the nation forward. Whether you are in opposition or whether you are minority or majority, if the purpose is to serve the nation, it does not minimize who you are. It does not. And they should all come and agree on things that Ghanaians need that will push the nation forward. That is what we are interested in. That is why we line up to elect them.
Right.
Good people, not we don't elect political parties. We elect people who we know are good from our communities to meet there and plan. So if it happens that one political party happen to have most good people or have been elected like this, it doesn't matter. It should not matter at all. Unless we are thinking about their selfish interest and who is greater, who is bigger, then we will, of course, have the situation that we have now.
Your Grace, now, is the church being heard? Because not so long ago, the church embarked on a walk to raise awareness about how we have left our environment and we have destroyed it, to put it in a better context. Now the church is also saying something about Parliament and trying to put Parliament on the right track. But is the church being heard?
You see, the church always brings forward what is the ideal for all of us to work towards it.
Right.
The church fills the consciences of leaders and of the populace. And the church gets involved in doing this so that we do not stray far from the path and then we come back in line. That is what we do. Now, human beings remain human beings. And sometimes our selfish interest tend to override that of the common good. And that is the battle we have been fighting over and over. Sometimes, like in the case of Galamsey, while some consciously know that what they're doing is wrong, some, especially in the communities, do these things out of ignorance. The harm that they are causing, they are not even aware that they are causing the harm. But there are those who organize these things who really know that they are causing harm to the entire populace. So there are two groups of people. Those who are doing these things out of ignorance. Our walks, like the prayer walk and the talks and the community that we do, are supposed to educate them. Those who know these things are wrong already and then they are doing these things, we do that to discourage them. But, they say trust is good, but control is better. That is why state laws must come in to put these people in the right positions.
Right.
You should enforce these things, whether they know it or not, because it is that the laws and authorities and the powers that be, once you have raised this awareness, must come in and do the right proper things. But human beings will always be human beings.
Right.
You have greedy, selfish people, wicked people who want to have their way. And we are aware of that.
The business of government will obviously be stalled at this point when Parliament is indefinitely adjourned. How does that concern the church in terms of the delivery of the public good by a very important institution of the state, which is now on freeze?
Yeah, as I've said already, it's a great concern. And not only the church, it's all people of all faiths and the entire Ghanaian population. It's like you have asked somebody, put your trust in somebody. Somebody said, oh, if you give me the opportunity, I will do this for you. I will serve you. Then you said, okay, please, we need you to help us. So lead us to go and do this. You put your trust and then you send the person there. Then he goes. You choose the person. And then he goes. And then just when you need him or her most, as you need Parliament, a lot, especially getting towards the election.
Right.
The very people who say we will do this, now they say we won't do it. We put down our tools. We won't serve you again. But they told us they want to serve us. So you see, what do? That is where the disappointment comes in. Business of the nation, one big leg of the trial leg, is no longer functioning. The rest, the cooking pot, which is supposed to sit on a tripod, one of the legs is gone and the two cannot hold. So it's a concern, a very, very big concern and a big disappointment that Parliament must be very, very careful, and the government and the legislature and all these people must be very, very, because Ghanaians are beginning to think again whether this so-called democracy that we have is really functioning and serving us after 16 years of NDC. And after 16 years, almost 16 years, short of 1 month of NPP, what this party, have they really been serving us, and why? Why are we where we are when we are supposed to have moved forward? And these are some of the things. And we are beginning to ask questions really about the system of government that we have and the institutions that are in place. Are they working? Are they really serving us? And if they are not, after 32 years, and we come to this situation, then we are beginning to think of other things. And they give us cause to question the institutions and the system of government that we have now.
Your Grace, would you say the Speaker of Parliament took the best decision in the face of the circumstances?
In the short term, I think so. In the short term, because we cannot imagine what could have happened. There could be many, many other things if these people have gone to Parliament. And now I'm minority, I'm majority, I'm this, I'm that. And things could have gotten worse. It could also have gone on smoothly. But to forestall any eventualities, and tempers were very, very high, the way they were speaking. And just to let things go like that, I think personally that he took the right decision to calm things down and let tempers find their balance a little bit. And I'm hopeful and I pray that when you use the word indefinitely, in the delay, he will look at it, and it definitely can be any time, but it can also be very, very short. And when he thinks behind closed doors and other meetings, which I believe is going on, they are able to call Parliament back into session within the shortest time. When I believe, when parliamentarians hear what Ghanaians are saying and thinking now about them, they will come back with cool, level heads to sit in Parliament and continue business of the nation for us. But I believe, looking at the circumstances and what could have happened or could not have happened, I think he took the right decision. But it should not go on indefinitely into the long term. Rather, we should find time to bring it back into session for it to work.
Your Grace, what cues should the judiciary be taking from all the action that is happening now?
Well, the judiciary, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know much about this system, about who does what in Parliament or what doesn't. I don't know what they did. Some say the judiciary had no role in that. Others say, yes, they had a role in that. But I believe that they are there to bring in proportionality, to calm down. They make the final decisions when people have disagreeing on matters like this. And I believe they can always measure, which I believe they do, their decisions very, very carefully in view and make those decisions that is good for the best, that will be good for the country. And,
Your Grace,
I believe that is all they can do, yes.
Before I let you go, Your Grace, now, for us, the faithful in the church, what should we be doing? Should we be praying? Should we be nagging? Should we be hoping? What should be our role in all of this?
Certainly, we believe, those in the church, we believe that prayer is able to do all things. But prayer presupposes that we act to collaborate, to support the prayer, to be able to actualize what we have prayed for. And therefore, we, both in Parliament who are the church and those who are not in Parliament who are in the church, we should be seen to be acting. Acting means, or acting in this way means, all of us having love for country.
3FM 92.
Praying that there is no corruption means that we should stop being corrupt. Praying that the environment should be clean and working that the environment should be clean means that we ourselves must stop the galamsey. Praying that the nation should develop means that we should have hard work and honesty in all places. And we have prayed, we have worked that the galamsey should stop. But you see, honestly, let me go back to this. Honestly, in our villages, in our communities where this galamsey happen, is it really Akufo-Addo who is polluting the water? Is it Mahama who is polluting the water? Is it not we, the people in the community, who take our shovels and hoes and go and pollute the water? Then we are telling Akufo-Addo or Mahama to come and clean our water, to come and stop the people. Why is it that we who are there in the community, the chiefs, the people, some of us take and go and pollute the water? Why can't we stop it? Why can't we educate ourselves? So you see, this is what I mean by we may walk, we may pray, but we must support our actions with realistic, our prayers with realistic actions. And if every community decides that our water is being polluted, we are drinking dirty water, our soil is being this, so we will not allow anybody in this community or anybody who comes from outside to pollute our water to do that. This galamsey will stop in less than no time. It will stop. So our prayer must be supported with realistic actions. And then everything in our nation will be placed in its proper order. Then all of us can push the nation for one person, president or this or that, cannot do it alone. It can't.
There have been suggestions, Your Grace, that the people who engage in this galamsey and other acts of corruption find themselves in the church. Should the homily be directed at them so that it appeals to their conscience and their mind?
It should. And that is what we do. We call it, if I may use the Catholic Church as an example, we have the official teachings of the church. We very, very elaborate. Recently, you see that even the Pope issued this document, not only for Ghana, but for the whole world. We call it the Laudato Si, care for the environment. You know, even before this galamsey, assume recent popular concern. And this document saying the Catholic has been read, copies were sent to all heads of state all over the world about the need for us to protect the environment. Here in Ghana, we percolated it, we read it in the churches, we sent it to the outstations, we sent it to the communities. We ask the church members to act on it by planting trees and etc., etc., etc. We do that. But as I said, only a small section of people cannot actualize this. And even those who were Catholics who, using the Catholic Church as an example, who said this in the church, some will do it, some will not do it. For selfish interest, they won't do it. They won't abide by it. But this is where the law, the state should also come in, seeing that this thing and that, to help those few people or most of the people who want these things to happen, support this with laws and then with law enforcement agencies for us to be able to eradicate this galamsey. So yes, we preach, we talk about it, we pray about it, and we act also on it. But it is not enough for them to be voluntarily if others are not supporting it. Take planting trees. We plant trees. We have the Abbot Day, say in the Catholic Church. Every year, we plant trees before even the president said we should plant so many trees, etc. But the point is, as you are planting, some are cutting. With uncontrolled, cutting the trees
Right.
to sell. Some are cutting when others are planting. So, how do we do that? How do we really maintain the forest when others are planting, when others think that it is their right to cut without planting? So these are some of the things that have been very well articulated in any of these programs on the galamsey. If we are doing at the local level,
Right.
at the regional level, then at the national level, and everybody is involved and the government is seen to be supporting those who are doing these things, then we will achieve results.
Your Grace, I want to thank you very much indeed for your time this morning.
Thank you too very much.
The Most Reverend Gyamfi, thank you very much. It's the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference. Helen,
Yes,
the Archbishop has spoken.
he has. And this was impactful. It was very insightful. And he says we've seen 16 years of the NDC, 16 years
Of the
NPP. The people of Ghana must be asking, have we really got value for what we
go in queue to
we
vote
bank
for.
on queue, and we have to take a critical look at it. And I love when we talk Ghana, we talk nationalistic, because this is what we should be doing. But it's crazy that our partisan nature is just so deeply rooted in everything that we do. Sometimes you need voices like this to bring home the message that it doesn't matter who is at the helm of affairs.
Right.
It doesn't matter who is in charge. Ultimately, power resides with the people. We are the kingmakers, and we should be demanding that the right thing is done. These are our employees.
Yeah, they are. They are our employees. Anyway.